Hello. We left off with sounds like a good solution. They're going to try Ramona staying home for a week with Visas watching her. So let's take up where we left off. Well, you girls will have to come straight home from school, said Mrs. Quimby, and you have to promise to behave yourself, no fighting, and never, ever open the door to strangers. The sisters promised. Mother, will you phone Mrs. Kemp now? Ramona was anxious to have the matter settled before Mrs. Kemp telephoned first to say that Ramona was a bad influence on Willa Jean. Howie's grandmother, as Mrs. Quimby had predicted, was delighted to have more time to spend with her son. Whee! Cheered Ramona. She was free of Mrs. Kemp for at least a week. When the meal was over, Beezus went to her room to do her homework. Ramona followed and closed the door behind her. How come you're willing to stay with me instead of going to Pamela's or Mary Jane's after school? She could not help feeling suspicious. So unexpected was Beezus's good behavior. Well, Mary Jane is always practicing the piano, and I'm not speaking to Pamela, said Beezus. Why not? Ramona often yelled at people, but never refused to speak. Nothing could happen if you didn't speak, and she liked things to happen. Beezus explained. Pamela's always bragging that her father has a real job, and she's always asking when my father is going to stop fooling around and really go to work. So I don't go to her house anymore, and I don't speak to her. Pooh to old Pamela. Ramona chewed a hangnail as painful as her thoughts. She doesn't have any right to say things like that about Daddy. Then I won't speak to her either. And I heard something Aunt Bee said, continued Beezus. She said schools are laying off teachers. How do we know Daddy will even get a job? Ramona, who had imagined every school would want a man as nice as her father, now had a new worry. You don't think Daddy would go to gaudy Arabia, do you? Even if it would be warmer than that awful frozen food warehouse where he works. Saudi Arabia, corrected Beezus. No, I don't think so. He doesn't know anything about oil except that it costs a lot. And do you know what I think? Beezus did not wait for Ramona to answer. I think Mother won't be working much longer, because I think she's going to have a baby. Ramona sat down on the bed with a thump. A damp, dribbly baby? Another Quimby? Why would Mother do a thing like that when she has us? Don't ask me, said Beezus, but I'm pretty sure she is. Why? Asked Ramona, hoping her sister was wrong. Well, you remember how Aunt Bee is always asking Mother how she's feeling, as if she has some special reason for asking? Looking back, Ramona realized Beezus was right. And Mother doesn't eat dessert anymore, continued Beezus, so she won't gain too much weight. Maybe she just doesn't want to get fat. Ramona was doubtful about this. Her mother had always been slender, never worrying about her weight like most mothers. And twice back around Thanksgiving, Mother threw up after breakfast. Beezus added another reason. That's nothing, scoffed Ramona. I've thrown up lots of times, and mince pie always makes me throw up. But ladies who are going to have babies sometimes throw up in the mornings, explained Beezus. They do? This was news to Ramona. Beezus might be right. She was interested in such things. Well, why don't we just go ask Mother? When she wants us to know, she will tell us. And of course, I might be wrong. Doubt crept into Beezus's voice before she said, Oh, but I hope I'm right. I love babies. I'd love to help take care of one of our own. I just know it would be so darling. Ramona sat on the bed, thinking while Beezus opened her books. A little brother or sister? She did not like the idea, not one bit. If she had a little brother or sister, grown-ups would say in their knowing way, as if children could not understand, "Somebody's nose is out of joint." Ramona had heard them say it many times about children who had new babies in the family. This was their way of talking about children behind their backs. "But if it's true, I sure hope Daddy finds a teaching job fast," said Beezus. "Now go away, I have to study." Okay, we'll take up with this tomorrow. That was huge news. See you tomorrow. Bye.